Hello, kids, I'm back. There was a lovely pond full of birds. Many ducks lived and swam in the pond. The swans, who also lived in the pond, showed off their beauty and grace while playing in the pond. The other water birds, too, enjoyed diving into the water. There was an old peepal tree near the pond. An ugly and arrogant crow lived in the tree. He had a harsh voice. Nobody liked his kind or his graceless flight. There was nothing charming about him. In the evening, many people used to come to the pond. They would look at the swans and admire their beauty. Ah, how beautiful these birds are! Look at their sparkling white color. But they made faces at the very sight of the crow. This made the crow jealous of the swans. He said to himself, I'll prove that I am in no way inferior to these swans. One day, Crow challenged one of the swans. Let's have a flying competition. How many different kinds of flights do you know? How far can you fly? The swan said softly, why should we compete with each other? We swans know only one kind of flight. We cannot fly in many ways as you do. How is it possible? You cannot get away so easily, said the crow haughtily. Let the world know who is the better flyer between the two of us. We must decide who is superior. The swan reluctantly took up the challenge and said, all right, let us fly. The crow and the swan began their flights. The swan could easily fly high up in the sky. Yet, he flew at the same height at which the crow was flying. The crow thought, this swan cannot fly higher than I. Thinking thus, the crow said, now I'll show you different kinds of flights. He then gathered all his might and started showing off the different kinds of flights that he knew. The swan said humbly, friend, I know only one kind of flight. Saying this, he began to fly higher and higher in the sky. The crow was bent on defeating the swan in this flying competition. So he too started flying higher and higher up in the sky. They were soon flying over a big river. The crow was so tired that he could not fly further and fell into the flowing river. He shouted, dear friend, please save me. The swan said, we are competing with each other. How can I help you? The crow pleaded, friend, forget about the competition. Please forgive me and do something to save me from drowning in this river. The swan flew a little lower over the river. He picked up the crow and carried him back home. The crow profusely thanked the swan for saving his life. He said, dear swan, I have learnt a lesson today. I have realized that only equals can compete with each other. I promise never to commit such a folly in my life again. That's all for today, children. See you again. Bye.